Thank you for spending another midweek moment with the Wisconsin property taxpayers. I'm Paul Rozeski. Today is Wednesday, July 1st. Welcome to the third quarter. This weekend, even if you don't join in the coordinated national singing of Happy Birthday to the United States, please enjoy the holiday weekend. If it's your thing, go watch some fireworks. If it's your thing, go catch a parade. Whatever you do, come correct and celebrate responsibly. This week, we are jam full. We talk about how many jobs are created by data centers. We have a funny story about how data centers are being treated just like everyone else, and they don't seem to like it. Next, we look at the federal flood relief that was just approved for Wisconsin. We take a look at a really well done Marquette Law Poll. We wrap it up with a story from the You Can't Make This Stuff Up file. It's a lot of stuff. Clearly, we're trying to put 20 minutes in a 10-minute bag, so this is probably going to be an extended version. Let's jump into some news together. We start off today by looking at a bunch of different stories on AI data centers, connecting the dots between them and piecing it together so we get one unified story. It starts with Microsoft in Mount Pleasant has announced that their first AI data center is up and operational. They have 550 employees running a 450 megawatt AI data center. Well, I see a different report that comes out that says that data centers require about 30 workers for every 100 megawatts. So 30 to 100 is different from 550 to 450. Well, it ends up there are different types of data centers. Co-location data centers require less workers because it's kind of like a warehouse where companies can lease out computing space from these warehouses, where an AI data center is more like a high-functioning, high-output factory. A lot more people are needed. I can follow that logic. Well, let's jump to another report that says Microsoft is going to continue to be building out, and 2 years from now, in 2028, they are going to need 3.3 gigawatts of power. For those of you keeping score at home, that's 3,300 employees, number one. Number two, that is more power than the average annual usage of the entire city of Los Angeles, and they're going to need that in 24 months from now. That is crazy, and it makes me wonder, first question, who's going to be footing the bill for this? Is it going to be the data center owners, or is it going to be the ratepayers picking up some of the tab, and is it going to be the taxpayer? Well, all good questions, and it leads us to yet another news item. In other news, Oracle, who is also a data center owner, they're looking to build up in Ozaukee County. They actually just sued the Public Service Commission. Let me tell you why. It's because the PSC in April decided to require that very large customers of We Energies, i.e. data centers, either need to post the collateral for the new power plants that were going to have to be giving them their energy, or they were going to have an A- credit rating. Well, Oracle said, holy cow, an A- credit rating isn't happening, so coming up with the collateral is going to cost us over $100 million in bank fees annually in order just to financially guarantee it can pay the whole value of the power plants they're gonna need. Well, let me give you a little backstory here. If you want a government contract, typically you have to put in a bid with a 10% bond guarantee, and then if you end up winning the bid to get the work, you have to be 100% bonded. That means you need to be able to prove that you can cover 100% of the project. Granted, you may get some money along the way, but you have to be able to not only buy the materials for the project, but be able to pay the people that are going to do the work before you get reimbursed. You need to be 100% bonded. Prove to us you have access to all the money you're going to need to be able to cover $7 billion worth of power plant construction, because that's what you're telling us has to happen. It's like playground stuff here. It's like, I bet you $100 I can do it. Well, all right, show me the $100. No, I don't got to do that. Well, yeah, you kind of do. And that is why there's a lawsuit. They're asking a judge to reverse the PSC's decision that they have to put their money where their mouth is. Stay tuned for more. In other news, the Trump administration announced on Tuesday that they would be sending $22.6 million in disaster relief funds to Wisconsin. However, Tony Evers said the state officials haven't heard anything else about getting that money that is flood relief. So let me help you out, Tony boy. The federal government is going to be providing $17.6 million to infrastructure, bridges, utilities, roads, all that damage that had to be fixed. It's going to help cover that cost, and there's $9.8 million that's going to be going towards residential damage over about 1,500 homes. I'm not quite sure how that's going to be divvied up. If you are hoping to get some of that money, if they didn't already look at your home and assess the damage, you're probably out of luck. But it is going to help people that have had their lives completely washed away, pun intended. In other news, I'm going to overly simplify what happened with the Marquette Law School Poll. They did a cool thing. They were asking people if they have trust or not in some of the major institutions we have across the nation. At the national level, they looked at the military, the Supreme Court, the Department of Justice, the FDA, national news media, colleges and universities, whole list there. At more of a local level, there were local schools, the police, there's local news media. They looked at a lot of stuff. The two things that far and away people trusted more than anything else, and this was regardless of your partisan lean, people trust their doctor. Over 60% of people said they trust their doctor. That was far and away the most popular. Nothing was even close. On the other end of the spectrum, 66 to 70% of people, depending on where you lined up politically, 2 out of 3 people do not trust, drumroll, Facebook. Facebook, by far, nobody trusted it. That is fascinating. For more information, you can Google it up or look for the Weekly Insider on Monday. I will have more information and details about that. If you don't get the Weekly Insider on Mondays, wait till the end of the podcast and I can tell you how to make that happen. And finally, 2 things for you. Number 1, an apology because we're just out of time. I will have to pull from the You Can't Make This Stuff Up file next week. Number 2, I have a Founding Father quote that goes out especially to you, Oracle. It's from Thomas Jefferson in a letter to Sheldon Gilliam, and he says, "The same prudence which in life would forbid our paying our own money for unexplained projects, forbid it in the dispensation of the public monies," unquote. Once again, put your money where your mouth is. Have a great second half of your weekend. As always, thanks for listening. The Wisconsin Property Taxpayers Inc. is a nonpartisan membership organization consisting of thousands of small business, farm, and homeowner members in every corner of the state. Founded in 1985, the organization is committed to providing its members with up-to-date information, legislative advocacy, and exclusive cost-saving benefits. Find out how to join at wptonline.org/join.